This Vivitar DVR504 cost $14.99 plus tax at the discount store Ollie's. Is it a deal or is it a dud? I'll find out. That's coming up on ThriftyAV. When I find a video camera like this Vivitar DVR504 that claims to have 1080p video, 12.1 megapixel photographs, and can be used as a webcam, all for less than $15, I feel pretty much obligated to check it out and to see for my viewers if this is a spectacular deal or a waste of money. But this DVR504, it's already out of the packaging. So let's back up and check out the unblister packing. This is the Vivitar digital camcorder, photo, video, and webcam. It shoots full HD 1080p, 12.1 megapixels, 2-inch preview screen, 4x digital zoom, and takes over 100 photos. Comes with a USB cable, a strap, instruction manual, and a 1-year warranty. And it cost $14.99 at Ollie's. 2-inch LCD, shutter release, microSD card slot. I don't think it comes with a card. Mode and menu. Ready, set, adventure. Dive into the thrill of exploration and keep every moment alive with the Vivitar HD camcorder. Effortlessly seize vibrant memories and stunning detail wherever your journey takes you. Package contents: 2025 Sakar International, which owns Vivitar. And there's the battery warning. Doesn't say what the battery capacity is. I want to try to keep this blister pack semi-intact, so I'm going to cut along the seam with scissors just inside the seal. This way I can seal it up again. And I'll leave the bottom of the blister pack attached. Look at that. All right. Here's the card. I want to take a good look at this so that if I put it back, it's in the same location. Speakers there. There's the instructions. There's a little lanyard of sorts. Here's the camera. Here is a micro USB cable. So it's not even USB-C. Opening it up. Just nothing there. Very, very light. Extremely light. So I don't think the battery's going to have much capacity as light as this is. Somewhere in this instruction, it should say what the battery capacity is. Takes 1 to 2 hours to completely charge. I still don't see the battery capacity. If I find it, I'll post it. I'll let you know what it is. All right, let's plug this in and let it charge up. When the battery is charging, you get a little red light here. You also get a battery indicator on the LCD screen. This was in the package. Important, please do not return to store if you're having trouble. We're here to help. Stop! Call us 24/7 at 1-800 number. Okay, it's been about an hour and that red light has turned off. And when I click the little down button, it says it's still charging. But that red light's off, so I want to go ahead and power this on. I assumed a long press would do it, maybe a short press. Now I got the splash screen that says Vivitar, and that looks like camera, video, a little gearbox. So I want to, maybe the top button. Okay, we're in the menu. Okay, the default size was 20M, and I don't know if those are megapixels or what. But the thing said 12.1 on the packaging. So I'm going to go maximum. I always want to, when I review things, I want to get them looking as good as possible. So I'm going to pick 40M. Capture timer. I don't need to mess with that right now. 1080p for the, I guess for the video resolution. Let's hit enter and see what the choices are. 720p or VGA. Let's go with 1080p. Timestamp. I'm going to turn that off. Language English. LCD off 2 minutes. That's just saves power. Auto off, off. Okay, yeah. volume 7 and format. I don't have a card in it. And I want to go ahead and set the date and time. 2025. System reset. Version. Well, let's see what the version is. This is version 1.28. I wonder if I could do a firmware update on this. And that is all of the menu. It doesn't say anything about it in the instructions, but through trial and error, I figured out to access the zoom setting in camera mode, press and hold the up arrow to zoom it in, and then press and hold the down arrow to zoom it back out. I'm going to be doing all the photographs zoomed all the way out because digital zoom just introduces artifacts. If I want to digitally zoom something, I'll do it in post-production. I want to start by using the internal memory to take some photographs. So I'm going to hit that. Here's my gear wall I've been using as a background. Here's that same wall at an angle. Here you can see my soft boxes and production camera. Here's some gear that has not been tested yet that's been piling up. This is my edit workstation, and here's part of my DVD collection. When you're in photo mode, if you want a timer delay, then you left arrow and you get this little clock. That means that it's on a timer, and if I hit the button to take a picture, I think it's 5 seconds, and then it takes the picture. When you go into photo mode, when I down arrow, I can put these frames or effects on photos. And I played around with it some, and I'll show you a few of them. Does the pink crown suit me? I had trouble centering the lips up. Oh, and this one is particularly silly. Now I'm going to go back into photo mode. When I up arrow, I can get different effects. This is a negative. Ooh, that's weird. Oh, that's fun. And there's quite a few of these. Oh, and then it goes into the same thing as down arrowing. Now, if I want to look at pictures I've already taken, I can right arrow and take a look at the pictures I've already taken. I recorded all those photos using the internal memory on the camera, and the dimensions were 640 by 480 on all of them. Much less than the 40M that I had it set on. So I'm going to try plugging in a card and seeing if I can get this menu to actually create larger file sizes. So I'm going to try all the different size options on this staged photo and see if I can tell a difference between the photographs. I'm going to start with the size 40M on the menu here. Now I'm going to switch to 20M. Now I'm going to switch to 18M. Now I'm going to switch to 16M. Now I'm going to switch to 12M. Now I'm going to switch to 8M. Now I'm going to switch to 5M. Now I'm going to switch to 3M. Now I'm going to switch to 2M. And now I'm going to switch to VGA. With that change, I'm now getting remarkably different file sizes with the different resolutions. The 40M created a 1.3 megabyte, and then they go down from there all the way down to 28 KB for the VGA setting. I'm doing a screen capture of my 1920 by 1080 monitor here, and I have IrfanView, a file viewer that I like to use. I'm starting with the smallest one, which is the VGA. That's a 640 by 480 file, and you can see some compression artifacts around these letters here. Now I'm going to go to the next file size up, which is the 2M, and now that's larger than my screen is here. Let's go up a file size, and it's even larger. But I'm noticing something here. Even though the file size is larger, look at these fonts. Look at the jagged edges on these fonts as I go larger and larger here. That's the 5M. This is the 8M. And it's just getting rougher and rougher looking. I think that this is creating files with higher resolutions than the sensor's actually capable of. They're just artificially creating large files here with a lot of pixels when, it's like pixel zoom going on, digital zoom going on. Let's go ahead and go to the largest file size of 40 M. And this thing looks terribly pixelated as I scroll around this photograph here. I was in the process of shooting a video to test out the video, and my video was 1 minute and 4 seconds long. And when I stopped it with this top button, it just stayed frozen here. And it's been frozen for quite a few minutes. I could probably wait for the battery to die, but I want to try something out. There is a recessed reset switch here. I have this dental pick. I don't see this. There it goes. Okay, so I was able to reset it with the dental pick, and all the menu items are going to go back to default. All right, I've tried 2 different SD cards, and the video keeps freezing up. This time it froze up when it hit 14 seconds. That's not very long. And to do the reset, I got to actually go in here pretty deep. And that resets it. After multiple crashes, I tried something a little different. I reformatted with a smaller allocation unit size. I changed it to 2048, and then I was able to record files without this thing crashing. I am in the living room. The lighting in here is soft white, and I am capturing video of my DVD shelves over there. Now, this camera does not have any kind of image stabilization, and I'm using the internal microphone on the camera. Now, I'm going to walk toward it here, and it's going to look a little shaky probably. I want to zoom in, this is not a zoom. This is me walking towards it, and I want to see, can I read the title names on those Blu-ray discs on that shelf there? If I can, then I'm going to say that the resolution is acceptable. If I can't, well, it's not. Checking the media info, the format is AVI, the overall bitrate is 5477 kbps. Video format is JPEG, codec is MJPEG. It's 1920 by 1080, which is 1080p. The aspect ratio is 16:9, 30 frames per second YUV. Chroma subsampling is 422, bit depth is 8. It is lossy compression. The audio is PCM. Mono at 256 kbps, sampling rate 16,000 kilohertz. It has pretty good stats for video and audio that look and sound crummy. When you have the video recorder selected, if you just leave it alone, that's going to record at normal speed, normal frame rate. But there's also a slow mode and a fast mode, and I took this camera out on the road and recorded with those modes, and here are the results. Slow did not actually create real slow motion. It simply lowered the frame rate to 10 frames per second, so it's a very choppy form of slow motion. No audio is recorded. Fast is just time lapse. It appears to be 3 or 4x. The third and final feature listed on this cardboard insert is webcam. I'm using the Vivitar as a webcam right now. I'm recording using OBS Studio. I noticed that the audio on the webcam did not work. So I'm having to use a separate microphone to grab my audio right now. I'm also seeing a bunch of glitching on the video feed. So I don't know how good this file is going to turn out, because it is glitching and glitching and glitching as I watch the video feed on OBS Studio. So I cannot, also, I am about 5 feet away from the camera to get a shot that's, somewhat respectably wide. This thing has such a tight field of view that it is not very good as a webcam. A webcam is supposed to have a wider field of view so the camera can be closer to you. This camera is way far away from me right now. Glitching, no audio. This thing is pretty much worthless as a webcam. The battery capacity on this is terrible. I've had to recharge it many times in the process of making this video. And also, there's a rattle in here. I'm kind of curious about that. Now, I could return it. I have the receipt here, despite what this insert says about not returning it, instead calling this number. But instead of returning this, I'm going to void the warranty and open this up and see what's inside of it. Well, I have an answer to one of my questions. There's the battery, 250 milliamp hours. That's not very much, folks. I was hoping there would be some sort of number on the sensor where I could tell what kind of sensor it was. I can keep disassembling. Still no data on the sensor. And I'm prying up a piece of tape here, seeing if I can find any more information here. Now there is a number on the cable going from the sensor. That's worth looking into. We have a little pinout on the board. Let's go ahead and take the board out. Okay, we got a little data on the back side of the board here. So I'm going to look up this data on the back side of this board. I should mention that the new Vivitar DVR504 is not the first time Vivitar has used this model number. There was another camera back in 2010 with the same model number, but it is definitely not the same camera. On the older camera, the button layout was different and it had an AV jack to hook the thing up to a TV set. It also had a 1/4" 20 tripod socket that's lacking on the newer model. 3 AAAs on the old one would certainly have better battery life than the chintzy lithium on the new one, and I prefer full-size SD cards over microSD cards. I don't have the older version of the Vivitar DVR504, but this newer version that came out in 2025, it is a dud. With its fixed focus lens, it offers no depth of field. The photos just look crummy, even at the top resolution. The video looks bad. I don't think it's truly 1080p. I think it's being upscaled to 1080p files, but it's actually lower resolution than that. The battery life is terrible. I'm talking minutes. It lasts minutes and then it takes an hour or more to recharge it. Even if you were to go buy the cheapest smartphone you could at the dollar store, some pay-as-you-go burner phone, you're going to have a better photos, better video, better audio than you do with this Vivitar. This device is a toy at best and not a very good one. If you stuck around to the bitter end, that means you might like my content. So tell the algorithm as much. Maybe smash the like button, leave a comment, something like that. And remember, stay thrifty, everyone.